And next, we have Marek, who is the CEO of Celo / cLabs. He's going to be talking about May the Forex be with you. I assume that he's a Star Wars fan. By the way, congratulations on $1.6 billion in volume on Uniswap just this year. So please give a large round of applause for Marek.
Thank you so much. Paul, for you, the tweets are always free. That was a really great talk just now, and I think it's a really great segue for what I wanted to talk about. Let's see if the slides are going to come up. How are we looking? Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about stablecoins and Forex trading on chain today. And you know, it's 10 a.m. I want to make this fun for you guys. I want everyone to wake up a little bit, maybe be a bit interactive. So I put in a few screenshots, stills from movies, a few GIFs from movies. If you recognize a movie, just yell out the name of the movie, okay? We'll keep tabs on who's got the most right, and we'll just make this a little more fun, okay? I'll make the first one easy for you guys. I wanted to start with a rallying cry. Anyone know this movie? Braveheart is right. And you know, a rallying cry is for all stablecoin issuers, for all people working on stablecoins, developers. I'm looking to reach you, and I'm looking to encourage you to launch your stablecoins on Celo. And I know what you're thinking. It's 10 a.m. All I want to do is, you know, think about the Formula One right now. Why are you asking me to add something to my, you know, Q4 roadmap? I've already locked it in, and you know, hear me out, okay? Just give me, I have 10 minutes right now, hear me out. And you know, I think the reason that I'm excited to be pitching this to you guys is that I think there's a lot of synergies between the stable coins that you guys are building and the real world use cases that we are working on to support in the broader Celo ecosystem. I'm talking about savings use cases. Anyone recognize this one? It's an animated movie with lots of balloons. Up is right. I think I heard it from somewhere here. Lots of saving use cases. You know, a lot of talk about, you know, US dollar stablecoins today. A lot of people who are hedging inflation for their local currencies with US stablecoins on Celo. And there's also people who are earning additional yield with those stablecoins. There's obviously a lot of protocols now in DeFi that are offering that. And increasingly, we're seeing really nice UIs for users and really nice, simple wallets for users that make earning those extra rewards easy. If you're curious, you can check out Valora. That's one example of a wallet with a really nice earn feature for your stablecoins directly in this kind of self-custodial mobile wallet. We're also working really hard to make sending money overseas much easier. Anyone recognize this movie? Bond is right, but which one? Casino Royale. That's right. So, you know, naturally, I think a lot of times people have talked about what we can do on chain. And you know, sure enough, we're getting to the point where it's starting to become actually competitive with, you know, big remittance companies. So just 2 days ago, someone was telling me that they can send money from Norway to Malawi on the Celo chain. And even if you factor in the on-ramping fees in Norway and the off-ramping fees in Malawi, you still end up being 30% cheaper than MoneyGram. That's a big difference. And that's today, and you know, no doubt these prices will only go down as more and more on-chain activity happens as those on and off ramps become cheaper and cheaper and more competitive. Uncollateralized lending. This is a harder one, but I'll give you a hint. It's a Netflix series or movie. It is about WeWork, yes. It's called We Crashed. And you know, obviously, there's a lot of collateralized lending now happening on chain. But increasingly, I mean, especially if you look outside of crypto, uncollateralized lending is, I think, what most People are more accustomed to borrowing against your future income. We're seeing a lot more activity of that kind happening on chain now in the Celo ecosystem. Here's an example from Haraka, who are on the ground in Kenya, lending out stable coins pegged to the Kenyan shilling, using a really nice new innovative protocol. And it turns out that if you want to borrow money against your future income, you do not want to borrow money in a currency that isn't the one that you're earning in. And so that's driving a lot of demand for local currency, for stablecoins that are pegged to local currencies. So a really great use case for non-US dollar stablecoins. People want to save in US dollars, yes, but people want to borrow in stablecoins that are pegged to local currencies. And so if we want to help Haraka launch their product in every market in the world, then we need to get stablecoins on Celo for every currency in the world. Payments. Payments is, I think, the final one. Anyone guess this one? Guy's got some wounds on his hand, and he's paying with gold coins. John Wick is right. And, I think payments is a pretty, I think, well-known at this point use case in crypto. And, within the Celo ecosystem, we've been working really hard to initially start with P2P payments and make that be really easy and ubiquitous. Last year, I was on stage here at Stablecoin Summit in Singapore, talking about how MiniPay had just launched on Celo. MiniPay is this really incredible self-custodial P2P wallet by Opera, the big public browser company. Opera launched MiniPay within Opera Mini, which is a browser that has 500 million installs, 100 million active users, which is just an incredible amount of active users. And within Opera Mini, MiniPay makes it really easy to send value to phone numbers, to pay for transaction fees in stablecoins. Basically, they've abstracted all of crypto away and created this really, really lovely P2P payments product. And that's been contributing to a lot of growth in the Celo ecosystem, especially on the payment front. And I think that brings me to an interesting question, which is, what do you think is the most used chain for payments today? I'll give you guys a hint as to what maybe you guys are thinking about. What do you guys think? What chain? Tron, yes. So Tron is frequently cited as the chain with the most amount of crypto payments. Here Anthony is talking, even though he's a big, I would say, ETH maxi, he was, giving Tron some credit last year. But again, if you look closely, this is a tweet from last year. And so I'm going to put a big outdated stamp on this. Because just this week, Artemis tweeted that Celo has actually passed Tron in one really interesting metric, which is daily active users who are transacting with stablecoins. And so that's a huge, huge milestone for us. We're really, really excited. Driven in large part thanks to products like MiniPay on Celo that are really making payments more accessible to normies on crypto rails today. And if you look at that tweet from Artemis, they actually break it down really nicely. They have a nice tweet thread. They talk about how stablecoin volume has been growing on Celo, and it's been growing not just for small transactions and not just for big transactions, but it's been growing across the full spectrum of big and small transactions. And so that's really exciting. If you look at the monthly volume on Celo for stablecoin transactions, we're processing just under $1 billion roughly a month now. And you can see there's been just a lot of growth since the beginning of the year, which is really cool to see. And a lot of this is also just driven by more supply. Circle and Tether launched on Celo earlier this year, and that's driven a lot of growth in just stablecoin supply, which is now driving a lot of this volume. And it's not just US dollar-based stablecoins that are on Celo. There's now at least 11 different stablecoins. We've got US dollar stablecoins, we've got Euro stablecoins, but also other ones like the Filipino peso just launched by Mento last week. That might be interesting in this market. There's 2 Brazilian real stablecoins on Celo. There's a West African franc one. a Colombian peso one, and then also that Kenyan shilling that we talked about earlier. And our goal is really to grow this. And earlier this year, we introduced the Stabila Foundation through an on-chain governance. We funded it through Celo governance. And Stabila's goal is really to incentivize the adoption of more stable coins and to create more liquidity for these stable coins on-chain. And so they've created some incentivized pools on Uniswap v3 on Celo. That's resulted in $5 million. They did this very recently, and it's already added $5 million of stablecoin liquidity to Uniswap on Celo. It's been driving additional volume on Uniswap, which is really, really great. And that, I'm sure is contributing to kind of this big growth in volume happening on Uniswap on Celo. This was actually just tweeted late last night, so it's pretty cool that I was able to add this to the slide. 20x growth in Uniswap v3 volume on Celo since last year, and the year isn't even over. And a lot of that volume, unlike on other chains where people are trading meme coins on Celo, we're seeing people trading these different FX pairs, these different stable coins on Celo itself. Okay, so what's next? Our goal really is to have the most liquid Forex market on chain. And certainly that means we need more stable coins. And there's a lot that are currently talking to the Stabila Foundation, talking to the broader ecosystem and looking to come on chain. There's some that are just a few weeks out and others that are in kind of earlier conversations, but we're really excited for all of these. We're also excited to chat with new folks. So if you are working on a stable coin, definitely come talk to us. And since a lot of people want to trade these things on margin, there's also an FX perpetual market coming to Celo soon, which will allow people to trade these things on margin, which I think will increase volume even more, and I think also just be more appealing to the types of traders who are interested in FX trading, primarily because they do that on margin today. So that's all the time that I have. I just wanted to again end with this rallying call. Once again, launch your stablecoins on Celo, and of course, may the Forex be with you. Thank you so much.